Welcome everybody to episode 242 of The China Show, The Real China Show. We have an explosive episode for you today.
Absolutely.
Actually explosive.
This is top tier in terms of content insanity.
Like blowing up stuff, drones crashing into stadiums.
Yeah, I did want to, because people are probably clicking for that, right?
Yeah.
We will get to that. We have a lot of details
That's part
about
of Soft
it.
Power Hour.
It is getting buried, which makes this very, very interesting. In fact, only one source has managed to hold on to this story. So it's obviously something China's trying to hide.
Yes,
You're
as
definitely
usual.
going to want to pay attention in case they pull the stream on us.
Yeah, exactly.
Number two, shout out to the 242. It's episode 242, which means it is the shout out to the area code of the Bahamas.
I'd love to be in the Bahamas. It's so cold
it's
here right now.
Freezing, like 25 degrees out. I do want to say, shout out to the Bahamians. You guys are living life in luxury as we are dying here in the cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's get right into it. We're going to saunter right into it today with What's New. And What's New is where we talk about everything that's new, specifically with regards to China. And we'd like to lighten the mood with a couple of these viral clips that have been going around in China.
What's been going around in China? Well, this.
Okay, so first of all, can you explain to everybody what's happening here?
This is, by the way, shout out, thank you so much to the absolute insane amount of gift memberships that have just been, look, are you seeing this?
This
is nonstop.
Well,
this is absolutely
thank
insane.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seriously, shout out. And if you could like the video, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right here we have some people making dumplings. How do you say that in Chinese?
Jiaozi.
No, how do you say make dumplings?
Bao jiaozi.
Yeah.
You know what else is bao jiaozi?
And I hate when you say
Because
that.
you know the thing is to bao jiaozi is you take the jiaozi pea,
gross.
which is the
Skin.
it's the skin, dumpling skin. Is that really the correct translation?
It is, yeah. Dumpling
Wouldn't it be
skin.
like dough?
No,
or
we say
something?
dumpling skin.
Okay, anyway, but you put the stuff inside and then you like fold it. So it's called bao jiaozi. But you know when you get sick and you have a runny nose and you're constantly blowing your nose. We also call that bao jiaozi because you're taking the tissue and filling it up with snot and then you like.
Ew, it's sick.
You throw it on the floor, you know.
Why did you throw it on the floor? Who are you, animal?
You know when you're like in bed
when
or whatever,
you're so sick,
and you're just like,
oh,
and then you take it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, what the heck?
Anyways,
Yo!
Yeah, okay. All right, let's carry on. Another thing that's going on here is this very strange phenomenon in China where everyone films their living room.
Yeah, this is a thing. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
all
giving
have
us
cameras.
so much good content. I do want. We were talking about this. I said, can people stop filming in their living rooms? And then you were like, no, don't.
Yes, exactly.
Because then they post it and it's hilarious.
Yeah, this is from just the other day. As you can see, the dates up in the corner, the 7th. Anyway, they're bowing jiaozi, the food,
kind.
the edible kind. Although the other type could be edible if you're in a very desperate situation. Let's just put it that way. But maybe not. Oh, I can't make myself feel
It
sick.
makes me feel like the protest kid.
Yeah,
The protest.
It makes you feel like the guy who's like. Anyway, okay. Yeah. So let's see what happens. They're making dumplings. Well, I'm gonna rewind that. Sorry.
We really, really need to get this show on the road. We have so much content.
I'm sorry. Okay. He's looking at his phone as usual. Let's take a look at him. Ouch.
You got whacked.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work out like he thought it would. Next up, we have some very crazy viral mishaps that have been happening vehicularly. And actually, we saved a bunch for the next one because we have so many crazy ones. But we gave you some primo content today. This is wild.
Yeah, now look, this looks like it's going to be bad. But don't worry, we would never show anything terrible on the show. Let's take a look.
I mean, that's lucky, right?
Yes.
This is a good one.
Oh, yes, love it.
This one's got its parts. It's got levels, right?
Yeah,
so she hits the scooter and the car, right?
I'd be kind of mad at her, to be honest.
For sure, but it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
She's losing control. She hits this car.
Okay. It's got to be
Keeps
up.
going. Then she grabs the handle. She's like, hello.
The door. Okay, nice. Watermelon delivery.
I don't know why that pause that.
Yeah.
That scene just reminds me of like Aladdin or something when someone's like running through the fruit market and all the fruits like explode and go everywhere.
Oh yeah,
it does.
sure.
It's very cartoonish.
Yeah.
This next one cracked me up and I don't know why.
Let's take a look.
Because it's an old man. the way he goes backwards.
That's the best part.
Yeah,
That's the best part. Yeah, we could see it one more
I just love how he goes forward and then back.
By the way, quick tip, you can tell that this is an EV because you can see the license plate is green.
Yes.
Another thing, the green license plates were only really adopted around 2017 in China. Widely adopted 2018. So there are EVs that have blue plates, the normal blue plates, if they're prior to 2017. Well, let's go back. I don't know why anyone would want to know that.
I gotta say something in a minute. You've already received a threat.
We've received a threat?
A threat not to cover the drone part of the episode. So you know what that means, guys?
We're covering the drone part.
We're covering the drone part. And obviously somebody does not want us to talk about this drone mishap in China. So that means you should go to your social media right now. Tell everyone that this stream might be pulled because this is going to be interesting. I'm curious about this, and it's from an account that I know.
Or at the very least, give the thing a thumbs up so that the algorithm pushes it
That's
up.
pretty wild.
You know what else is wild is this guy doing
sorry, this just freaked me out when I read
forward
that.
flip.
That was a bad threat.
Ow!
Holy sh! Whoa! Oh!
That's when your brakes work too well.
Oh, can you pause it on the part where they first go over?
Sure. I mean, I don't know about you, but this has happened to me before.
Yes, but not that bad. I've not gone all the way like this. I've done a stoppie.
A stoppie? No,
and I come back down and crash.
I've had a brake lock up and gone all the way over before. But yeah, that's not what you want. It's like, that's when you know you're screwed. This guy's like, okay, bam, ouch. Ugh, rough. Why is it guy?
What is he doing there?
You know, he's sitting in one of those wagons that you pull a kid around.
Yeah, or you put your groceries or whatever
he just happens to be sitting there.
I like how he's in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, this is great though. Look, he falls into the dog cage. Did you see that?
Was that a dog cage? Did he land on a dog?
No, I mean, there's a dog in there. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was a chicken coop.
I think it's.
No, that's one of those Chinese dog cages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's because they keep them for food.
Yeah, that would be one of those.
Yeah, it's
dog cages.
Now the dog can escape.
Get out! Get out, dog!
Now he can feel what the dog feels like.
Yes.
Yes. Heard about being in the doghouse?
Despite all my rage.
It's still just a dog in a cage.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So here we go. What's happening here? Oh.
You know what you say nut tap? That was actually a nut tap.
No, well, that was the hammer, though.
Yeah, but it was just the way it tapped it.
Yeah, that's just very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. That is.
That's what
it's the moment that he can't pull his hands out of, like, you shouldn't be doing this first.
Yes,
first of all.
He's trying to be all cool, hands in the pockets.
Look, Mom, no hands. But when you watch his last struggles of him trying to pull his hand out, I don't know why that makes me want to die of laughter.
The way he bounces off the car.
It's insane, the crash.
Yeah. He's like, whoops.
He's like,
oh no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. You know what I mean?
Before you play this.
Okay.
I want to do a poll real quick.
Okay, all right. What are we doing?
I want to do a what's going to happen.
Okay, what's going to happen?
Because it's so vague what's happening.
Well, I mean, what do you get? Okay.
So hit by a car. Obviously, that's a thing that could very much
Wall
happen.
falls down.
Wall falls down, yeah.
Door falls down.
Door falls down.
Floor falls down.
Floor falls down. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those.
Yeah, so we have four choices here. What do you think is going to happen in this clip in China? We have hit by car, floor falls down, wall falls down, door falls down.
Yeah.
We're voting right now. We like to involve you guys in polls. It's fun. It's amazing.
Is it amazing?
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, wow, amazing. Isn't that incredible? A poll.
Yeah, yes. Just want to point that out.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously trying to hide that story.
Oh, yes.
Guys, we're going to have some serious... I want to hype... Might as well hype the audience while we do the poll. We're getting an unbelievable amount of threats based on this topic. China military drone attacked its own Olympic stadium. I don't know why, but it's clear. Remember when I said there was only one source that managed to hold on to it?
Oh, yeah. They don't want this going out.
I guess we're about to be number 2. It's interesting. Tell your friends to be here for Soft Power Hour at least, because that's where we're going to be covering it. It'll be interesting to see what kind of mass attacks we get on the concurrent viewers.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, I think we should pull the poll. What did people think is going to happen?
Let's pull the poll. The winner by a long shot is the wall falls down.
Okay, so this is in China. You can tell by the license plate on the car. Let's see what's going to happen.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I guess.
Yo, what?
Yeah, just you walk out your front door and the floor fails on you. You know, don't you just hate when that happens?
That's a hole. How far does that go down?
I actually don't even know what's happening
She's
there.
still falling. That was actually a portal to hell.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Well, anyway, let's carry on. So now we have a little dog coming up here. I kind of feel like she deserves it the way she was sitting there.
The way she's squatting
there,
next
yeah.
to the road there, I mean, that is a landmark.
It's
right?
a human fire hydrant.
Yes,
Yeah.
I support the dog because that's hilarious.
Yes, it
And
is.
she can go clean up.
Yeah, absolutely. That was funny. Oh, man, these trucks.
Oh, man. Man, that thing just vaporized. You
Yeah,
see that? It
yeah.
just melted.
Yeah, now what do you think's going to happen here?
I think that I can already tell. He's going into wheelie because he's got someone on the back.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's going to be a slow-mo wheelie.
Well, let's take a look. Yep. Nice.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, I'll go back
That's
to that.
like, you can't make that up.
It's like a cartoon. You know,
Yeah. Get us out of there.
all right, I'll get us out of there. Here you
Watch
go.
the guys walking across the road.
Yeah,
and
just watch 'em.
Watch what's hanging behind the yellow car. Like a rope. He's just like a rodeo lasso.
Yeah, it is. You call it a lasso? I guess that's probably
Yeah.
the right way to say it. We call it a
Lasso.
lasso.
That's only one O, so we say O.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why we'd call it a lasso. That's just what
Maybe you guys do a double O?
Maybe. It's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah. I'm sure it's got to be an American thing, though, because of cowboys, right?
Probably. This is wild, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
This
this
is
is-
crazy.
Guys, okay, now this one.
This is not a good one.
No. We've seen this in real life driving around in
Yes.
China. And it's so
Often.
so harrowing when you see these big trucks barreling around.
Hmm.
Let's take a look. Coming around the corner a bit too fast here. As you can see, big truck full of sand, construction material as always. And,
Starts spraying.
and then boom. Yeah.
It was devastating. But there's a key feature to this.
Yeah, I'll get us out of here quickly. I think,
Notice on the right. I want everyone to look at the
Yeah,
right.
take a quick look.
On the it's almost like a sidewalk type thing or a balcony. You've just watched this bus get wrecked, and this guy walks by, looking at his phone, and he literally doesn't even look up.
no,
He doesn't even look up.
doesn't care. It's too busy playing his flash game or whatever.
Can we see that accident one more time? And I want to ask you a question as you watch it. Would you at least look up?
Would you at least look up? I mean, okay, listen.
Like it's-
There's a passenger bus involved. Okay, so look, people are gonna need help.
Yes.
You should be rushing to their aid, or the truck driver or something.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what happened.
Well, I mean,
Aftermath.
there were no fatalities from what I know, but you know,
Okay.
people
Is
are
that
gonna
true?
get injured.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard differently. Sorry.
yeah. Well, you know, from when I got this clip anyway.
Okay.
And the issue is like, I think most people would be rushing to the scene of the accident,
Yes.
not walking like this and being like, better check if I scored that extra gold in my, you know, whatever pig slashing game.
What's going on
This
here?
is kind of funny, okay? Lighten the mood again. This police officer is having a little bit of an argument with some monkeys.
Okay.
Take a look.
Those things are vicious. I
Yeah.
got attacked by them in Hong Kong.
Yeah. They've backed up all the traffic because of these monkeys.
I love how he's holding his
That's cute.
pants.
Yeah.
It's so human. you
Yeah.
know?
And then he's
Yeah,
like, get
no.
the hell out of here.
You
He's
don't want to fight back, and you don't want to look at them. So what I noticed in Hong Kong when I was walking on the trails,
Yeah.
if you lock eyes, they will come and they will stare you down and bare their teeth, and that's when you know you're in trouble.
At least it's not baboons. You know,
Yeah.
in Cape Town where I grew up, there's this place, I can't remember, I think it's called Chapman's Peak or something. But you go up there, beautiful road, you drive up there, and these baboons come down from the mountain. These boboyan, it's called a boboyan, you know, klum up to boom.
boboyan.
Yeah, boboyan.
Sounds
Yeah,
like an
boboyan.
Italian baboon.
These things come down and they like stick their hands through the window to grab your snacks or whatever
Yeah.
you have. So
Smart
but you
guys.
shouldn't feed them.
No.
But they're vicious, and
Yeah.
baboons can kill you.
Yeah, they
You
will,
don't mess
right?
around. They got these huge fangs.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with them. Baboons are a terrible.
Isn't it scary how monkeys have such crazy sharp teeth?
Oh, yeah, and they're strong.
And they're strong.
Yeah. Anyway, so if I was this cop, I wouldn't be messing with these monkeys anyway.
Le monk.
Yeah. He's like, get the hell out of here.
You better get out of there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this is, once again, guys. Tofu Drake slide, all right? Don't worry, no one was injured here.
This is going around the Chinese internet.
Yeah. But that's the last thing you want is to...
I feel like playground equipment is supposed to be the safest stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you make super... That's why it looks like Tonka toys or whatever, you know? Like, it's built super sturdy and thick, almost comically.
Yeah, and I know here in America, when they put them up, and then they maintain them as well. They go to check to make sure. And it's like over the top safety. Everything's padded, you know, like the ground's padded. Luckily, the ground has got that padding here. Otherwise, they could have gotten hurt. But yeah, you don't want to, mess around with that.
No.
Okay, so...
Updated bollard info.
Yes.
You'll follow me, okay?
Yes. Bollards in the know. Okay, so this is an interesting phenomenon, okay? Now, okay, don't worry about it. This is fake.
Oh, why don't you play it first before we see if it's fake?
All right.
Okay, it's incredibly fake.
It's fake.
I love how this is a genre.
But this has become a genre. You know, like this, the bollards. We've been talking about bollards on the show these days, okay? Yes. There's now a genre of fake bollard videos.
Yes.
I'm not joking. I had like 4 or 5 of these, but I thought I'd just save them.
Yeah.
Each week I could
I can't believe it's become a genre.
Yeah, where it's like these dudes sitting around and then a bollard hits him or whatever.
Can you explain why this? It's because it's a dark reason that this became a phenomenon.
Well, it's because bollards are useless in China because they're fake and hollow, like we showed you last week. And because of the revenge against society attacks, you know, these guys drive through bollards to attack people, to drive over people. So, like, obviously they're useless, so people make fun like this.
Yeah. But it's like the mass murders have been spawning a genre of video where there's fake bollards like flying around.
Yes. Now here's something.
It's weird.
You can't accuse China of not overdoing things.
Yes.
You know, when they try to
I know you're set.
You know when they try to pretend like they're the best at something?
Yeah.
They just create the most. So you know what I mean? So
absolutely. Just want to say, if you've not been watching us for a long time, or if you're new here, there have been these revenge against society attacks where people are driving into massive crowds of people like dominoes and killing everyone, including schools.
Specifically schools.
So that's what's going to be relevant here.
But what I wanted to say is, like, instead of like China developing the best solar panel, the most efficient solar panel, they'll just produce the most.
Right.
So, you know, instead of saying like, oh, then they will say we're the world leader when it comes to solar panel production.
Yes.
And then people think, oh, that means they must be the best. But no, they're making junk, but just lots of it.
Yes.
So it's that idea.
Yes.
So anyway, the bollards might be rubbish, but now they have a solution to that.
Oh my! You know, I don't want to laugh though, because it's for a dark reason.
Yeah. Now this is outside of a middle school, and if you look, first of all, I mean, look at that. The flag, the red flags for the entrance of the school. It's very communist.
That's very Communist Party of China.
But look at how many bollards they've had to put up. Because,
oh my God.
Those cylindrical bollards that you see there are the normal ones, but they're very ineffective. Yeah. They'll just get knocked straight down. So they've kind of gone overkill. I really don't think any car is going to get through. How many bollards are there?
If you guys post this on Twitter or whatever, screenshot this and then there's a black spot for text. This is how bad it's gotten in China that this is what they're putting outside schools. Yeah. This is insane.
There's like 6 layers of bollards of however many deep. There's a lot of bollards over there. And you can see they're the kind of bollards that usually would have poles going through them. But they're like, that wouldn't work. So let's just stack the bollards. I mean, it's bad. It's so bad in China. People are running over school kids so often that they have to do this.
By the way, guys, we've talked about this before, but it's been almost a daily occurrence that there's mass murders happening. You know, like
it is a daily occurrence. Yeah, not almost. It is.
It's a daily occurrence that people are killing random civilians in large numbers in cars. Yeah, and it's so bad that this is the response. It's not. So it's not funny.
No, it's not. It's just absurd. You know, it's absurd, not funny. Anyway, so we're going to move on away from the whole bollard thing, and I wanted to ask you, how is it that you're staying healthy during this holiday season?
I'm not.
Because I'll tell you what.
I'm not.
You know, when it's cold and, you know, you got every excuse to just eat and drink and what have you. You know, you're stuck in your house, it's snowed in. What are you going to do when you're snowed in and the power goes out?
You're going to eat junk.
You're just going to drink beer.
You drink beer. You're also not going to be active.
No.
Right, and that's a big problem. Right.
Yeah.
One thing that we've been very happy about is that we have been using AG1 for years now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, completely changed our life. Our energy levels have consistently gone up and up and up the longer that we've used AG1. We've absolutely loved it. It's probably one of the easiest things you can do. It takes a couple seconds, put 1 scoop in water and you drink it, and you've covered all of your nutritional bases for the entire day.
Yes.
Now, when you've done that, you can kind of relax a little bit, because I always have this sense of guilt that I'm treating myself poorly, right?
Yes.
Especially we're getting a little bit older now.
Oh, yeah,
You got to
for
stay
sure.
on top of your diet. And we're not in our 20s anymore to where you can just kind of throw caution to the wind.
Double that.
Right. You have doubled that, yeah.
Double 20s.
I like to put it in with cold water and ice in a cup and drink it. I don't know
Sure.
if you have any special recipes, but
Nope, same deal.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a bit weird if you heated it up.
I think that wouldn't be great, but you know, it's an easy solution is just use cold water. Everyone's got cold water, right? Absolutely. My favorite long-term benefit from AG1 has just been my energy levels have gone up consistently.
Way better.
No peaks and troughs anymore. So this year, try AG1 for yourself. It's the perfect time to start a new healthy habit. And that's why I've been partnering with AG1 for so long. I should say we've been.
That's correct. Fix that.
Yes, AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/ADV to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/ADV to start your new year on a healthier note.
Yeah, thanks again to AG1 for sponsoring this video. Now, guys, guess what? It's almost slopaganda time.
Yes.
I believe
it's also almost soft power hour where we're going to cover the drone thing.
Yes, that's coming after slopaganda, but we always have to lighten the mood. So
Yes.
let me explain to everybody what slopaganda is once again. This is where China tries to do propaganda and it falls a little flat.
And when you say a little, I think it's so nice of you. Because it's always incredibly flat. Imagine like a 2D man on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So China is trying to appeal to international travelers.
Yeah. Oh, on
In a big way.
massive level.
So for the first time in their entire history of life, under modern China, they've decided, you know what, maybe we should stop being such bastards to anyone who comes here.
Yes.
Okay, because it's been the most inhospitable place,
Yeah.
the most confusing, the most horrible place to go visit, because nothing is set up for foreign travelers. No one is there to help in English, or there's just no way. Everything that you pay, you can't just pay for things because they have to use a Chinese app that needs a Chinese ID.
Yeah.
Booking tickets has always been a hassle. It's always been difficult and inhospitable. So they're trying their best. Now that no one wants to go there anymore, they're like, you know what? Maybe we should try and be a bit more friendly. So they want to introduce something. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to find out right now.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to help you get around.
This is exactly what you want. Wait, hang on.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
Absolutely that. Okay,
Yes.
so let's get started with slopaganda.
Alfred Chilcock.
Yes. Yes, you'll see.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Great, thank you. Can you tell me more about the Beijing Pass?
Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass.
A Beijing Pass. Good, great. And how and where to use the Beijing Pass? The Beijing Pass. Hello, I'm a U.S. citizen, a foreign visitor, and I would like to get a Beijing Pass. The Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Wow, that's amazing.
Hey Tom, pop quiz.
Wow, I know this one. It's the Beijing Pass.
Exactly. The Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, the Beijing Pass. With QR code symbols can be used for both to install the most modern and enjoyable.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wait, what was just said there?
Hang on.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
It's Alfred Chilcock.
Oh, that's Alfred Chilcock. Is that his new name?
Yes, that's his name. He's Alfred Chilcock. He is exactly.
Is he a shill?
Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
So, Alfred Chilcock.
Just the beginning. I wanted to. Is this how you meet someone?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Great, thank you.
She didn't
Nice
say,
to meet you.
"How
Great,
are
thank you.
She introduced herself properly.
Yes, and he's
Nice to
like,
meet you.
great, thank you.
You should have said more like a bit of a.
A bit of
give it a bit of
great. I agree. Anyway, so Alfred Chilcock here is finding out about what?
Can you tell me more?
You know, I'm sorry, and I
Yeah.
don't want to comment on appearances, so I won't. But I will say, I wore that shirt in first grade. I wore his shirt in first grade.
Yeah, he's bringing it back, you know?
Yes.
You know, like you bring back styles.
True.
He's bringing back kindergarten, you know?
Yeah. Yes. He's bringing back,
He's bringing back kindergarten.
bringing back 1990.
Yeah.
Or about the Beijing Pass.
Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass.
A Beijing
So they're really trying to
Pass.
push this Beijing
Good,
Pass.
great.
Basically.
And how and where to use the Beijing Pass. The Beijing Pass. Hello, I'm a U.S. citizen, a foreign visitor, and I would like to get a.
I would like to get a.
Have get.
Yeah, anyway, I like how they, by the way, if you did watch this whole thing, it's very condescending. And it's all about like now you can get a card, a smart card, which you can refill at the train station. And then you can use it on the public transport. And some participating shops, you can like buy food.
So what?
It's not, I mean, have they heard of an Oyster card, an octopus card? But the condescending thing is like during the interview, the Chinese presenter asks him, "Oh yeah, but America doesn't have this, right?" You know, it's always like rather than be like, "Hey, look, we've got this convenient card," it's always like, "Oh, this thing is so great, unlike America."
Tell me you don't have an inferiority complex.
I know, it's so annoying. Anyway,
Beijing Pass. The Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Beijing Pass. Wow, that's amazing.
Hey Tom, pop quiz.
Wow, I know this one. It's the Beijing Pass.
Exactly. The Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, Beijing Pass, the Beijing Pass. With QR codes, slots can be used tourist boats to install the most modern and enjoyable. See?
Wow, that's amazing.
What did she just say?
well, you know the
QR code to post the most in the most. It sounds like
so
a
modern
freaking-
and convenient, or
freaking,
enjoyable. Yeah, modern and enjoyable.
What is that? What is Dr. Seuss? It sounds like Dr. Seuss.
Well, you see, unfortunately, and I've seen this a lot, is when some Chinese students, when they're learning English, they will try to say words that they don't comprehend, and they try to
Sure.
say it fast,
Sure.
but to sound like
I get it.
they know
That
it,
makes
right?
sense.
But if there weren't subtitles, you wouldn't understand what they're
Sure.
saying.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'd understand what he's saying.
True.
He wants to get and have, and he wants
Yeah,
to.
exactly. He doesn't know how to respond.
Somebody doesn't have proper command of the English language, and it wasn't the Chinese people there.
Exactly. Anyway, that's that is what it is. So we've got another
It's
good
the-
surprise coming for you
Oh,
later. But
what's this?
Oh, we have to remind everybody. Shaban Ho 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 Holiday Sale.
Xiaoban Ho is our Monday show where we get up to some serious shenanigans. It's a full episode every single Monday, and if you like the China show, you'll like this even more.
For the holiday season, get locked in now to get a Shaban Ho subscription for half price.
Wow, so good.
You get 4 episodes every single month right after they finish airing live, as well as access to the entire 100-plus episode backlog of your favorite Monday show.
Great. Current full-price Shaban Ho members will be upgraded to Shaban Ho Live, where you can still see Shaban Ho Live, participate in the stream, have your questions answered, and choose the next topic.
It's up to you what you want, but either way, it's the best time to get on board, and it's definitely what you want, I assure.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
Xiaoban Ho, 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 holiday sale. That's the last time you're going to see that ad because it's about to finish.
Yep.
And if you want to you're going to want to head over to patreon.com/ADV podcast. Get locked in. It's half price right now.
Yep.
So this is the last, probably the last chance you're going to get. Number 2, you can give it as a gift. So it's the holiday season. You can give this as a gift to your family members or someone you love. You can get them a subscription. It's every Monday. We have a live episode. The Xiaoban Ho tier, the $10 tier, will get it right after it goes live.
Yep.
The $20 tier will get it as it's live. You
Yes.
can watch it live and participate. But this is your last chance to get locked in
Yep.
for that price. So make sure you do it.
We'd love to see you there. We're having so much fun on Mondays.
We are. Beyond the Great
Okay.
Firewall is where I take you into the Chinese internet.
Yes.
And I translate things that you probably wouldn't understand.
So what did you translate for us this week?
So this time you actually found something really interesting for me to get my little translation fingers
Sure.
on. And it was a woman. And this answers so many questions.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, I keep hearing about these ghost houses. There's like hundreds of millions of extra houses,
Ghost towns.
of apartments in China that are these concrete blocks that don't get finished, right? And people always say, why don't they just move all the homeless into those things, right? And we explain, well, there's no water hookup.
Yeah.
They're not finished, right?
Yes. It's an
There's
empty
no
shell.
bathroom, right?
There's no wall on the outside.
There's no wall on the outside. So there's these hundreds of millions of these concrete husks around the
Yeah,
country
yeah.
where people have paid for them, but they can't live in them, right?
Yeah.
And this woman, in fact, paid for her house took 2 years, right?
Well, it's 2 years late on delivery.
I'm saying 2 years late on delivery. It took 2 years for them to deliver anything, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So she goes, you know what? I'm going to live in here anyway.
Yeah.
Guess what? To answer your question, why the homeless people or these people that bought their houses don't just go live in them anyway, this is what happens.
Yeah, we're going to show you. But I just wanted to clarify one thing. This is what's called a rotten tail project.
Yeah.
And what happens is if you invest, and it's a huge amount of money, you go put your deposit down, just like buying a house anywhere else. Huge deposit down, and then you start paying your mortgage immediately. So you start paying your mortgage on this thing, and they say, okay, and it'll be delivered by this date next year or whatever, right? So the due date came. And 2 years have passed since the due date, and she's still paying her mortgage for this thing that's not finished yet. So now we can actually go into the video and see what happened. Beyond the Great Firewall.
我是干什么不花钱？我钱都给他了，30万都给他了。我现在手里边没有钱租房子。我给你看微信都行。我现在我都是信用卡都套好几万了都，你让我怎么还？这边是房贷，那边是信用卡。那边是房租，
那不是你生活的事儿，你自己的选择。
那是因为他们我才变成这样的。
I think we also have to explain that she set up a tent.
Yes.
In her apartment.
So so now you've understood there's police at her door.
Yes.
In this concrete husk of an apartment building where no one can live.
Yeah, and it's 2 years late on delivery.
Yeah.
And it's the construction is stalled.
It's never going to finish.
So it's not going to finish.
No.
And it's just left like that. So she's taken a tent, moved into her apartment that she's paid for, and set up a tent in this concrete husk.
Yeah, so she's going to live in it anyway. She's like, if I'm not going to get my house, I'm at least going to live in the husk.
Yeah, so let's continue.
再说我现在入住我自己的房子是不是可以啊？是他不给我开门，我才强住的。
这个地方没交工的不够。
2年前就应该交工了，怎么就不具备？他现在，我现在是不是住的挺好的？怎么就不具备居住条件了？
你吃在哪儿吃啊？你用电在哪儿呢？水在哪儿呢呀？
我还得告诉你我上厕所怎么上啊？
我就说这地方不适合居住，知道不？
我觉得它适合，它是我现在最适合居住的地方，我还不用花钱，我就可以住的地方。
So
yes,
that's, I think, a huge insight into this whole hundreds of millions of unfinished apartments across China, those ghost apartments. You can't even live in the shell if you want to.
Yeah, see, she forced her way in, as you can hear from the dialogue. So she obviously got the, I don't know, groundskeeper or something that was there to
He opened the door for her, yeah.
So then she ran in and set up a tent, and she's like, I'm just going to live here now. And so they called the police to get her out of her own apartment that she paid for, that should have been completed 2 years prior. That's the situation that's going on in China. It's a mess.
That's why there's all these huge uprisings, and there's people refuse to work, and they're setting factories and buildings on fire all over the country, the whole ruined nation thing.
Yeah.
It's because people are losing everything. Imagine you put all your money into an investment property or your own house to live in, your first home.
Yeah.
And you can't even live in it.
No, you can't move in. And you have to be paying rent and a mortgage at the same time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the mortgages in China are far, far more expensive than the rent.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's the weird thing is like many of the apartments that I used to rent, it was fairly reasonable to rent.
Yeah.
I'd be paying like whatever, let's just say anywhere between the lowest rent I ever paid was 1,800 RMB a month, and then the highest was about 6 to 7,000 a month. But even on the cheapest apartment I was renting, the mortgage was closer to like 15 to 20,000, which is like what, 4 times or whatever that I was paying in rent or more. So it's kind of weird. So imagine you're paying a huge amount of money for your mortgage and you're also paying rent at the same time.
Yeah.
Just not fair.
True.
Okay, now we've got a special for you. Okay, we wanted to talk about water for a second here. I just want to pause it.
Oh, the illegal water filling facilities?
Yes. So before we get into this, because this is actually an interesting new song that's just dropped out of China.
Nice.
That came along with this video for some reason. But, you know, in China, you can't drink the tap water.
Yes.
Like anywhere.
No.
Can we just make that very clear here?
Yes.
You've got a country, how big is it compared to America?
It's the same size.
Same size as America, 1.4 billion people. Not one of those 1.4 billion people in any of those square kilometerage of the entire place can drink water out of the faucet.
Correct.
You can't.
You can't.
So it doesn't matter if you go all the way north, like far north.
It's not opinion either. It's not like, oh, that's my choice. You can't.
No, you can't. You will poison yourself. You'll get sick. So you go to the north, you go to the south, you go to the east, you go to the west, you go in the middle. Doesn't matter where you go, you cannot drink the water.
You cannot.
And I love the fact that every time I point out that you cannot drink the tap water in China, someone says Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
Someone right now was thinking that, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They were like, oh yeah, Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Screw you, Flint, Michigan. It's been fixed. And it's one city that you know about. How do you know about it? Because it was very widely publicized. How are you going to compare one town or one city in the whole of America, only one, with a very well-documented case, to an entire country where 1.4 billion people cannot drink the tap water? So stop. America's not the best at being the worst.
Yes.
Okay?
Stop
I
your
know you
ABP.
always want to be like the best at being the worst, but you can't.
Shout out to the ABP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where is that?
America Bad
yeah.
What about is we trust?
Yes. Okay, now let's get back to this. Because nobody can drink the water, you have to buy jugs of water, and you have like what looks like an office cooler in your house. Everybody has it. Even if you don't have a full-on office cooler, you just put that jug down. You have a little pump, like a hand pump that you connect to it. Some of them are electric. But you have to get your water refilled, whatever, once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on your house, right, and how much you use. But the problem is that you get a lot of these clandestine operations that just fill it up with who knows what.
Well, they fill it up with tap water.
Yes, sometimes they do.
Drink.
Or weird well water, or even fire hydrant water I've seen with my own eyes. But like, for instance, this is not a controlled facility. They've got filters in the background I can see, right? But it's not a controlled facility.
No.
It's not correct. And she's sealing them because they're supposed to be sealed, like professionally sealed. So, you know, it gets filled up at a factory and then it gets sealed so that you know that it's not tampered with or whatever. But look, she's just got the seals in a dirty bucket over there and she just knocks them on, as you'll see. But that's not what's important about this clip. I downloaded this clip and it had a random background music to it. And I think we better bring in an expert to introduce the music to us.
Okay.
And this expert's going to tell us if it's good or not.
Is it perchance Salty Waters?
It could be. Let's find out. Get us out of here. Let's take a look.
The QR code floats can be used for both to install the most modern and enjoyable.
What a wonderful song. How come I've never heard it before?
The most modern and enjoyable. The floats can be used most modern and enjoyable. For both to install the most modern and enjoyable.
永远不会累，向你温暖怀抱飞去。短暂的分离 ，baby， 我要听你声音。
Salty。
说好不会哭，开心了，翻页魔法书，你会笑。这次你
Wow, Salty approved it?
Oh, yeah. I
Great
think that's
tune, great
Salte
tune.
approved song. So it's called Poison Waters. Artist is Stony Rainstorm.
If you are new here, because we have quite a large audience right now. If you're new here, this guy, unfortunately, he didn't shill for the Chinese government, but he did this one video for Chinese state media where he had to like pretend to be interested in this cultural music, and he does this thing where he goes, "What a wonderful song!"
I could actually
you
play
have
it.
Right?
What a wonderful song. How come I've never heard it before?
So anytime there's music related, we have him involved.
Yeah, so this is Salty Waters approved.
Yes.
New soundtrack. Going to be on an album dropping soon, I'm sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Now we got to get on to... Sorry.
Oh, here's the real main event.
Yeah, okay. All the clowning around is out of the way. We have to
Yes.
get serious here for a minute, guys. Soft Power Hour is where China tries to change your mind through various propaganda and through censorship and so on. We're going to start this week in Liaoyuan in Jilin.
This is where the in this segment is where you'll see the drone segment.
Yeah, the drone attacks are going to be in this segment. This was yesterday, December 12th.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's have a look. This is the stuff China's trying to hide.
Now, take a look what's going on here. Normal everyday street scene, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Okay? This was a gas explosion at a restaurant.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And you'll see the aftermath here. Now, the terrifying thing is, okay, there's no indication of casualties.
We don't know.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know. China won't report
exactly.
that. Yeah. I'm trying to
But there was a dance studio just above that was having a class. You can see that they're chilling out up there. People are throwing wet towels, I believe, to them.
Oh.
I was wondering what was going on, if this was being played in reverse or something.
That looked like it, didn't it? Yeah.
No, they're throwing up wet towels for the people that are there. But yeah, you can see the people above the restaurant. I'm hoping that nobody was in the restaurant. Because if they were, they're vaporized.
They're done.
Yeah,
They're gone.
I just really hope they were not.
Yeah.
Anyway, here come the emergency services. They're figuring out their equipment. Yeah, here it is from the other side. This is a little bit later, where the emergency services have set up their ladders. You see the firemen are finally evacuating the people from the dance studio.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see there they are actually evacuating
The
the
safety
people.
standards in China are outlandish. And we
Well,
I'm
yeah.
surprised we survived.
Me too. Me too.
You know?
Yeah.
The way gas is stored and fireworks and the electric wires that are hanging all over the place. The fact that fire hydrants, by the way, did an expose at one point.
Yeah.
If you guys are new here, we did an expose. A lot of the fire hydrants in China are fake.
Yeah,
They're not hooked up to anything.
You know those things in the road, those red things that you, yeah, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of them are fake. But there you can see the. Sorry, it's a bit loud. You can see the firemen are actually rescuing the people that were in the dance studio, which is a good positive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad to see that because it's not always the case.
Wow, what a nuts explosion.
Yeah.
And it's just those gas explosions happen so often in China.
Very, very often. Everybody in China cooks with gas.
Yeah. Now you're cooking with
Yeah,
gas.
exactly. You know, everyone does. Anyway, let's move to Chengdu in Sichuan.
Okay.
Okay. Very far away, by the way.
Chengdu is very far away.
Very far away. Like it's like going from East Coast to West Coast type thing. When we're showing you all these different things, they're not in one area in China. It's across the whole thing. They're busy dismantling this water tower here.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
UFO-ish. The town's gathered to watch.
Yeah.
This is the city. Yeah, the crane collapsed, eh?
Yeah, two cranes.
Two cranes.
Listen to what he has to say.
真的，我的妈呀，还趴下来，趴下来，糟了，房子里遭人遭了，这个人遭打死了，交出来，那个椅子交出来，你不要。
Why is he spitting? Maybe got some dust in his mouth.
Sure. Okay, now we're moving to Shenzhen, which is the city I lived in for 14 years. You can see some of my starred places actually on the map there because I took it from my Google Maps. And there's a couple of them. Now, this happened in an incredibly fancy area in Nanshan, the Shenzhen Bay. I've been here, obviously, many a time. And what they've got is they've got these very expensive luxury apartments. They're fairly new. And they've been set up along the Shenzhen Bay there, and they built a new mixed-sea mall. You know, Wanxiangcheng. Do you remember I used to live opposite mixed-sea mall?
That's right.
I lived opposite the original mixed-sea mall in Luohu. And now they've built a new one out there in Nanshan for the rich people. Luxury apartments, right? So I'd like you to pay attention to this luxury building over here. This one over here. Yeah, see it quite closely.
Whoa.
That was another gas explosion. Look at that.
Right in the middle of the building, eh?
It tore up, as you can see.
Oh, man. So that's just probably one kerosene tank.
I mean, it was pretty hectic.
That's what I'm saying, is how much pressure is in one of those things.
Well,
We
you know,
all have
in these
those.
buildings, quite normally the gas is fed from a pipe, not from one of those tanks.
Uh-huh.
It depends on where you live in China, but either you get your own tanks that get replaced as well.
Right. That's right.
But in these fancy buildings, it's usually a pipe. So it would have
Gotcha.
been an infrastructure
That's
failure.
right. That's right.
Now, this destroyed that one apartment over there, you know, and it apparently affected about 4 or 5 floors up,
Oh, okay.
you know. It's, as you can see, pretty devastating. Unfortunately, and we're not going to show you the footage, but there is footage of a woman who was in that apartment, and in order to escape the fire, she had nowhere to go, and her only option was to fall out. So there was one fatality. You know, but that's just one reported. But take a look.
Yeah.
I'd like to show you guys again.
Doesn't matter where you are, right?
Louis Vuitton. This is the fanciest part of Shenzhen now. It's moved. Now this is the fanciest, most expensive area. So get it down.
天呐，我天！如果楼上的话，好像越来往那边火越来越。
Chanel, Dior, Tiffany and Company. Okay, I just wanted to explain. The fanciest, most expensive, and by the way, Shenzhen is a first-tier city. So if you think Shanghai, Beijing, it's the same. It's on the same level. So the most expensive, most fancy, sophisticated part of China still has these infrastructure, you know, hazards like this, gas explosions. I mean, you could expect it in the previous clip we saw where the restaurant blew up because it's just some middle of nowhere city, right?
Yeah.
But not this. This is top of the pops and it still blows up. So imagine you are a very rich person driving a Ferrari or whatever you are and you have this really expensive apartment. You still can't escape this horrible safety failure of China.
You are true.
Yeah. Anyway, you know that this happened in my apartment block where I lived as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was because it was near the electronics district, Huajianbei, you know, the Silicon Valley of China. And there was a person storing...
Defensive.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And they were storing chemicals and various things they were using for like, stripping down mobile phones and stuff in the apartment. It had also exploded and it took 5 floors with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember...
Like a bomb.
Yeah, when I was driving home, I saw the smoke coming out of my apartment complex.
Yeah.
Not my building, it was a building over, but I saw the smoke and all this fire. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Yeah, it's where I lived. So I've got personal experience seeing this happen.
Yeah, this does happen.
Yeah. By the way, and that was December the 11th. The other one was December 12th. So just a day apart, you've had these 2 big gas explosions on completely different sides of the country.
That's right.
Now, we're going to get into the drone attack.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what happened in Jingzhou in Hubei.
So I didn't think...
Yesterday.
I thought it was a huge deal, but I didn't know what a big deal it was until I saw all the posts getting pulled.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we found this military website that still had some stuff up about it. But originally, before all that happened, before that military website had any info, this was going around the Chinese internet before it was getting... pluck, pluck, pluck. Yep. And that's what made us pay attention to it. Like, why are they pulling all these videos?
Exactly. Now, this is a guy charging his EV. As you can see, all EVs these days have cameras built into it.
You mean spy cars?
Yeah, I mean, it does get a little worrying when you find out that China has been testing all of its EVs on roads in America. I think, they map millions of kilometers in California or something, right? Stupid amount like that. But yeah, they've got cameras. And this guy's busy topping up his EV, which will take him like 2 hours or something. Mm-hmm. And I'd like you to pay attention to the very top one. Take a look. Bam. Don't know if you saw. Don't worry, I did zoom it in. He's like, whoa, runs off. And then he's like, what'll I do?
People are getting threatened in the chat right now.
Oh, yeah. So he's
like... documenting you. So keep it up, guys.
So he unplugs his EV. He's going to go plug it back in there or whatever. And then he's like, whoa, what am I going to do? I should probably get out of here. And then I think he just kind of panics or something. He's already unplugged his car. And he's like, okay, I'm going to open my door.
It's an interesting perspective.
And then he's like, okay, I'm out.
I'm out. He
Peace
just
out.
Runs. Yeah,
runs off. Okay, so here I slowed it down. You can see it up there. Can you see it? You can see it's got a very long wingspan.
Yeah.
And one of the wings looks like it came off.
Yeah.
Bam.
Wow, that really blew up, into the stadium.
Yeah.
That's during the Olympic Games stadium in Hubei, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, it's an Olympic stadium. See, this one other car was smart and got the hell out of there real quick. Let's see. Here we can see it again in super slow-mo. There it comes in. Smack. And you can clearly see that it is a Chinese drone. a military drone.
Yeah, I think was it Ukraine military that identified it?
Yeah. So this is right after the explosion. I'll get us out of here.
Yeah, the source is in the description, by the way.
Oh, look, bollards.
Oh, there's bollards. High quality bollards.
I'm going to pause it there for a second. You
Some
can see the
debris,
landing gear over there.
I think this is probably how they identified it.
Well, it's part of how they identified it, yeah. This is obviously after it's all calmed down. Got some emergency services there, a lot of looky-loos. So they're just saying plane, like a plane has crashed.
Nobody knows it's a war in Fiji at that point, probably.
Yeah, it is.
Without person plane, that's a drone.
Exactly. Unmanned aircraft. Yeah. Okay. Where are the pictures? Did you take them out?
No.
Interesting.
I didn't take them out. That was your segment, bro.
No, it's definitely they're in there. Oh, well, either... Anyway, the fact is we do have pictures of the drone.
Yeah.
Do you have them? You can just chuck them on the desktop and I'll show them. Oh, hang on.
I don't have them.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. Obviously, something got mixed up in the...
Gotcha.
Huh?
Oh, it's just like like one of the news articles ended up there, obviously.
Okay, there's a picture of what the drone looks like. You can compare...
The Yilong 2H?
Yeah, that's right. It's the Yilong 2H drone.
I think they mean loon.
Yeah, it's a loon. Now, apparently, this is part of the debris. Of course, we can't 100% confirm, but this is this is according to an article that we found, which is in the description, by the way. You can go and read it and make up your own mind.
But this was pulled like lightning off the Chinese internet.
Yeah.
When people started sharing the videos. There was such a rapid response to pulling it that it clearly is a big deal to China. I don't know if they don't want people to know what kind of drones they're testing or something. It's obviously some sort of secret.
Now, the thing is, these drones are military drones. They can be used for civilian use. Like, for instance, in a disaster, they can be used to...
well, I think what you meant was they can create a civilian disaster.
They can.
Like they just
they
did.
can.
Yeah.
They can be used to facilitate communications and whatever, survey things and all that. But of course, it's a military drone, which is quite clearly a knockoff of American drones. You can tell. Yeah, they did. They stole the design.
Oh, okay.
100% stole.
Gotcha.
But if we go back to the actual crash footage right here, you can see. Wait for it.
There's like one frame where you can kind of see it, like clearly, semi-clearly. Yeah, those wings are super long.
You could tell. Look, it's got the split tail as well. It's kind of upside down now. It's the profile of it doesn't look like any kind of like a light aircraft or anything like that. The wingspan's too long. It's got that split tail.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's definitely one of those drones. So a Chinese military drone. Whether it was intentional or not, I'm pretty sure it wasn't intentional, but a Chinese military drone has crashed into one of their stadiums.
Yeah, there's a lot of some of the discussion around it was like, why did they attack attack?
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's hard to say, but it's a drone attack.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what it looks like normally.
That's pretty wild. And it was interesting around all this hubbub about all this drone stuff that's been happening in the U.S. It's interesting that something actually did physically materialize in China around this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Surrounding that. Anyway, the source is down below. Check it out for yourself.
Now, there's an interesting thing here because in the footage, you can tell as it's plummeting towards the stadium that it is missing a wing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the missing wing.
Ah, the missing wing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to harp on too much about this, guys, but if we go back and you look at the actual plane falling down, take a look. Let's get it in its slow-mo form over here. Can you see?
Yeah.
It's missing a wing.
Yeah.
It's got one very long wing on one side and there's one wing missing.
Yeah.
See that? It's a one-winged drone.
Yeah. Probably not going to fly very well like that.
Well, of course, that's why it crashed. But that would explain that picture we have of the missing wing. There.
Yep.
There we are. So Drone attack on China by a Chinese military drone.
Yeah.
Intentional or not. Cell phone for sure. Own goal, as we'd say.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's time for us to move on to the Bait and Rob initiative update.
Oh, is this where we talk about how the Belt and Road Initiative is failing?
Well, no, we're just talking about the quality of the construction that you can expect.
Okay. PRI for quality needs nothing. You'll follow me, okay?
Yes.
Whoa, that's quite the title that you have.
Yes. So a tunnel is being built over here, okay? We got a nice fresh tunnel.
I do want to remind everyone, this is what you're buying when you let China do your infrastructure projects.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what happens with this lovely tunnel.
Oh.
By the way, it's not supposed to be an aqueduct.
Oh, okay. Good.
Just so you know,
Thanks for clearing that up.
it's not supposed to be an aqueduct. It's supposed to be a tunnel,
Gotcha.
like an actual road. Let's add a little bit of concrete to the environment.
The river down there's going to be a solid brick of concrete.
Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe that's how they make their road, you know? It'll
Yeah.
like solidify and it'll be a road. Yeah. There's something about this scene that's just so China, isn't it?
Yes.
Kind of gray
Yeah.
sky, construction junk everywhere. It's very
Just a blue color.
It's very nostalgic.
It is quite nostalgic.
Yeah.
Need some of that techno in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we've got a question, okay, and hoping that somebody in our audience will be able to answer this. As you can see, they're busy demolishing this support pillar, okay, for this bridge. I would like to know, is it normal for it to be just filled with loose sand?
Should I do a poll?
Yeah, please do. Maybe somebody in our audience can say, because I don't want to, I'm not a structural engineer.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
but in my mind, this should be solid concrete. You know,
Sure.
obviously reinforced concrete. It needs to have aggregate in there. It needs to have rebar. It has to have that kind of thing. But this is pretty much hollow and just full of like loose sand. And so I'd like to ask everybody, if anyone knows, is this normal? I'll go back to that. Because I'd like to know, do we have an answer in the poll yet?
I got to make it.
Oh, you haven't made it yet? Is this normal? Give me a second, guys. We have to do something here. This is what happens when you get under attack by a million people who don't want to hear about an attack about a drone.
I think we've been attacked. Don't read it.
I won't.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back.
Is this normal?
Is this normal? Okay. I'm sure people have said in the chat.
Yeah, I just wanted to do the poll because it's fun.
Yeah. So we're going to let that poll up for a little while. We're going to continue on with the show and we'll read it out later.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're a structural engineer, if you're anyone who knows anything about bridge supports, is it normal for a bridge support to be filled with loose sand? Like this one is. Because look, it's like, you know, they're opening it up and it's just gushing out.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, every week we've been trying to explain to everyone just how bad the economy in China is right now. Mm-hmm. And one of the things you could tell is by the amount of wage disputes.
Yeah.
Every week we've been showing you at least one wage dispute. Now, I had a whole lot, but I don't want to bore everyone with every single one. In this particular one, the workers, again, haven't been paid their wages for months. And so they decided they'd go to the company and actually just bring blankets and sit in the lobby and wait to get paid.
Yeah.
It just shows you how desperate it's become, where construction workers have to have a sit-in or a lie-in just to try and get money that's owed to them.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things... Well, sorry, before we get into that, it's not one of those things where, you know, when people strike, it's usually they want like better wages or they want like better rights or union protection or whatever it is. So you go on strike. In China, the only time you go on strike is when you actually have a huge amount of money already owed to you. You've been working, slaving away for months, hard construction, hard labor, working weekends, working 6-7 days a week, working really hard. And eventually you just reach breaking point.
That's
You're like,
right.
listen, I'm owed 6 months of wages. Can I get my money, please? And that shows you just how bad the economy is doing. It has to be, you know? Anyway, we have one more thing we have to show you here before we continue. Let's do it.
Turn it up.
Turn it up. Here it comes. Here it is. The Royal Rumble is coming.
The annual The China Show's Royal Rumble is this year's main event.
Characters from the China Show come out one by one and they bring their beef.
The first year, Jaunty had a great performance.
Great.
But he wasn't so lucky the following year.
Tractor bulldozed Ballsack for a stunning victory in year 2.
Winston, Jaunty's been looking for his second victory. But he's really, for lack of better words, pissed at the Haze Runner because he, in fact, is the fastest man in the world.
I'm the fastest man in the world. Nobody can stop me.
Not that wheezing maniac.
Also, don't forget, the new kid on the block, or should I say new brick in the wall, Mason, who's really angry with his neighbor Salte Waters, who plays his music too loud.
What a wonderful song. How come I've never heard it before?
It's been a little too much for Rick,
Wow, that's a little too much for me.
who's been replaced by Raging Roger. This is the feud of the year.
Join us at the Xiaoban Ho live tier to watch this year's main event, this year's Royal Rumble, as it happens with live commentary from C-Milk and Winston. You will be there and you will enjoy it. You will follow us, okay?
You'll follow me, okay?
Or you can support us at any other tier level to see it after it airs live.
Don't forget, you can gift patron memberships and bring the joy of the Royal Rumble to your family this season.
We'll see you in the ring on December 23rd at 5 p.m. EST. Be there or the frog gets peed on. Nice.
Excellent. I cannot wait.
It's going to be amazing.
Right, back to the serious stuff. Okay, worldview, guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, please join us for the Royal Rumble. It's going to be the best thing ever. You can head over to patreon.com/ADV podcasts. Join any tier, you'll get access to it.
You're going to love it.
Yeah. All right, worldview, guys. This is where we talk to you about everything that's happening in the world, specifically with regards to China. We've got something that's kind of important. Obviously, we covered the...
Yeah, I just wanted to show the source.
Okay, this is the... What you wanted to show. What is the source?
My source is that I made it the f up.
No, this is a real. This is a real source.
This is a real source.
Okay, no, quite seriously. Here we go. The link is in the description if you'd like to go and take a look. Now, something has been happening.
By the way, 80% of people said it's not normal to fill up bridge supports with sand.
I would have thought so. It's common sense, right? Yeah. It's common sense. But remember, and I'm looking at you, Montenegro, or any of these places out there, if you're going to get China to come and build your Belt and Road highways and bridges and stuff, expect that quality. Yeah. They've been falling apart.
You get what you pay for.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Well, you get what you get into debt for.
Yes, I thought this was a great write-up. We covered this before, but why did China hack the world's phone networks? They actually go into why they're doing this, why that Salt Typhoon hack happened, and why we talked about this, why you guys should be more outraged that China just attacked and hacked all of like the major cell phone telecom networks.
It was
in
like
America.
Verizon, AT&T, all these big ones. The one you use
to get there, who you call, who you know, when you call, what you're texting, all that stuff was just given over to Chinese hackers. And for some reason, people are not up in arms right now.
No, it's ridiculous.
Take it seriously.
Take it very
seriously.
China's out to steal your lunch. China's out to bring your country down.
Yes. Just a great write-up. So that's in the description as well.
Something super important, guys. Please, whoever you are out there, pay attention. China is now doing something, well, they've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, it's getting more overt, though.
They have been co-opting the far left and the far right equally. This is not like, it doesn't matter what side you lean.
No.
You can't.
They promote chaos.
Yeah, you can't be pointing a finger at the left wing or at the right wing at this point. You have to be pointing a finger at China.
Yes.
Russia too. But China specifically. Take a look at the kind of garbage propaganda they're putting out there. Can you read this?
It says, I believe in promoting friendship with China. Its morally upright leadership will lead us into a hopeful and just multipolar world.
Hopeful just.
Yes.
As in justice, you know?
Yeah. This is something we've been seeing. And this is, China's been seeing this succeed, or sorry, Russia succeed with this.
Yes.
So Russia has co-opted some of the more fringe right-wing organizations or media groups.
Left-wing too, dude.
Yeah, but no, I said Russia.
Yeah.
I said Russia.
Yeah.
So they see that this works, right? So China originally, we saw them really kind of entering the whole like socialist, communist kind of left-wing scene early on, right?
Yes.
But what China knows is that they just want to sow division and chaos, right? So they're going to do the same thing that Russia did with the right wing, and they've been doing this actually. We called this a couple of years ago. We said this is going to start happening.
Yes.
And so right now they're trying to promote to right wing people that China is morally just and is actually pro-life and is actually like not this degenerate society like the West. And they're doing all of those key points that people really care about because they say, oh, well, China's the alternative, which is insane. Yeah. Right. That's absolutely insane.
We had to just break this down because these are the talking points you're going to start seeing come out on all right wing. I mean, left wing as well. We've talked about that in the past.
But this is what right targets the right.
Yeah, this is how they're targeting conservatives and the right wing. So if you're conservative or right wing, I'm more conservative leaning myself. Okay, and I believe in the family values and I believe in that type of thing. So it really pisses me off when I see people pretending that this is what China believes in because it's not true.
Well, these are psyops.
Okay, so take a look at these reasons. Reason number one: China is pro-family. Can we just for 1 minute talk about the demographic collapse in China right now?
There are no people to take care of the elderly because nobody is having children.
Yes.
They had the one-child policy, which eradicated all the unborn pregnancies. Like, not the unwanted. Like, people wanted these kids.
Forced abortions. And then now there is no family structure to take care of said family. Yeah.
There's a demographic collapse in China, meaning there are no young people anymore.
Yeah.
Right? This is going to devastate the entire country. How is that pro-family?
The whole system is not pro-family. People care about family because the government won't look after you.
Yes, it's your only safety net.
It's family's, honestly, your retirement plan in China. But it's a mess. Okay, well, let's take a look at some of these other reasons. Let's get on to number 2. By the way, thank you to whoever alerted me to this yesterday. Appreciate it very much.
This is like, we're basically alerting you to a storm that you're probably going to see.
Reason number 2, they punish degenerates and pornographers and don't allow media subversion of sexuality.
See how this, I mean, I think this account is completely fake, but it's posing as a right-wing conservative account.
China has the most open prostitution industry in the world. And I mean, per capita, if you wanted to get numbers, probably the most prostitutes in the world. Absolutely. Listen, if you live in China, you will very, very quickly find out how debaucherous it is. Karaoke's, infidelity in marriages, the fact that...
cheating is like out of control right now.
At the top. Horrific types of human trafficking and sexual terrible things happening to people. And the fact that if you go for a business meeting to a karaoke, there's always prostitution involved. There's always brothels involved. There are entire cities that their entire economy is based on prostitution and brothels and underage children and everything. It's very bad. It's if you want to talk about degeneracy and pornography and prostitution and stuff, China's not a shining example is what I'm trying to say here.
Absolutely.
So this is a false statement.
Yes.
But of course, if you've never been to China and you don't understand, you would look at this kind of propaganda and think to yourself, yeah, you know what, maybe they, just because pornography is not legal. But we all know, I mean, you can just look on Douyin or anything. It's full of thirst traps and, softcore crap anyway. There's a lot of degeneracy, trust me. All right, let's take a look at the next talking point they're trying to push. And this is just to warn you guys, knowledge is power, as they say.
Yep.
Reason number 3, unlike America's capitalist oligarchs, they don't impoverish their people.
Does that not sound like
on.
Russian propaganda, by the way?
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Just reads like
I mean,
that.
when you say oligarch, that's just
yeah.
Russia. Yeah. But okay, this is absolutely pathetic, all right? There are so many poor people in China, and they're held there. They're not allowed to get out of there, because if they did, it would go against the narrative. If they go out there and say, hey, we're poor, we need help, they get squashed.
China's so much poorer than America, it's not even funny.
Hundreds of millions of people live
in abject
on
poverty.
$500 a year.
Yeah.
A year, not a month, a year. And by the way, that is China's threshold. Got to say this to you guys. China thinks that you're no longer impoverished if you make, it's now with inflation, about $700 a year. So if you make $700 a year, that's a full year, you're not poor anymore.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And that's why people like this, this propagandist account over here can say, oh, they're not impoverished. They want to help them out. Like, oh, it's like, hey, look, guess what? We lifted all these people out of poverty.
True.
It's propaganda, guys. It's not true.
True.
So again, this is a complete falsification over here. And I think, is it number 4 is my favorite. Let's take a look. Come on. Where are you? Number 4, they are increasingly pro-life, beyond what any Christian populace could imagine or hope for here. No. Absolutely
one of the highest rates of abortion in the world.
No, the highest rate of abortion in the world.
It's one of them. It's one
is
of
it,
them.
Is it not the highest?
Rate. Rate is different than total.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, okay. Well, it's the highest total for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And one of the highest rates. And abortion is used like contraception in China.
Yes.
Okay, it's very easy to be done. There was forced abortion until very recently for anyone.
It's too graphic. I don't want to get into it.
We can't get into it. If you want to see, there are photos of fields of aborted fetuses, late stage as well. China is not pro-life. This is the biggest.
It's a country with death bans,
This is the biggest
bro.
load of rubbish. Pro-life means anti-abortion.
Yeah.
There's not one inkling, not one part of China, the Chinese government, Chinese society that is anti-abortion.
That's such a farce.
There's not one part.
No.
Go ask any Chinese Chinese person if they're anti-abortion. They'll be like, no, why? That idea hasn't even been posited
That's
to them.
not a debate.
It's not a debate.
No.
China is pro-abortion. The entire government is pro-abortion. The entire populace is pro-abortion, and that's just because it's the way it is. And I'm just saying it straight. There is no pro-life movement in China.
No.
In mainland China. There never has been. This is nonsense.
Yes. Now, I just wanted to cap it off by saying
Wow.
I do think this account is fake, but don't, if you're conservative, just like we talked when we talked to a couple years ago when we were talking to the more left-leaning people, don't let China play you for a fool.
Absolutely.
Just don't let China play. Doesn't matter where you side with here. Right now, China looks like it's latching onto the whole, we're going to jump on this whole moral bandwagon and get the conservative people to think that we're
that's it.
moral
So
society.
so again, they are targeting conservatives right now with these kinds of headlines and these kinds of propagandist ideas. And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? It's absolute bullshit. Not one of these statements is true. So please, if you see this kind of thing going around, either call it out or block the person or ignore it or know that it's a lie. Because it is a lie. Just because you don't live there and haven't seen it, don't take the word of some stupid person who puts some picture and maybe a farcical article.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, we just had to get that out the way because we're here to quash propaganda on this show. We want you to know what the real China is all about, okay? And this is absolutely false.
Yes.
Demonstrably false in every aspect.
Yes.
All right, so it's time for us to move on to Yamcha, guys. My favorite part of the show, other than slopaganda, that is. And this is our Q&A section where we answer your questions and you question our answers. So let's hit it. By the way, if you're not watching live, you're not watching on the weekend, we do take this segment out of the show. So we bid you adieu, stay awesome, and all of that if you're not sticking around. But if you are sticking around, it's time to loosen the tie and get right into it. So what do we got?
So we have Aya with some memberships. Thank you very much. That was super generous, Aya. Platy, gift.
Thank you, everybody who gifted memberships. And everybody who's just become a member, congratulations. Welcome to the team.
Anthony Saint says, libation fund and we need a Ferris wheel. Thank you very much.
I will give you a Ferris wheel.
We have FKDHJ who says, dear science, no. Probably some